you guys ready? Good afternoon for day 2 of the Generation Adidas Cup. Alongside Carter Augustine, I'm Matt Peterson. Carter, some very good games on Friday, and now an MLS club looking to get a vital victory over international foe.
Yeah, some really good soccer played here all day Friday, and of course they had a day off yesterday to recover and regroup, and now these two teams who both won their first group game, this is a pivotal match in their group, and so it's a big chance for Philadelphia Union as well as Monterrey. If someone can win this game, I think they'll be heavy favorites to advance.
Monterrey is in their blue uniforms and white shorts. Philadelphia in all whites. It's a 4-2-3-1 formation for Monterrey, a 4-3-3 for the Union under head coach Chris Brewer and their academy director Tommy Wilson. Here we go on a very windy afternoon outside Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, Matt, the wind is going to be a huge factor today. It was a factor on Friday, and somehow it's gotten even windier as the wind's coming from the south, up to 35-mile-an-hour gusts here. Super windy, so keep that in the back of your mind. It's going left to right as you look on the screen.
Monterrey has the wind at its back. Union going into the wind. This was the same situation as Atlanta fell behind 1-0 inside 15 seconds against River Plate of Argentina. I don't think the wind really factored into the goal, but it gives the impetus to the team attacking the wind-aided goal. So Monterrey, which won 3-1 against Chicago on Friday, taking on Philadelphia, which won 5-0 against New England also on Friday.
Yeah, good results for both teams. Philadelphia really stormed out in the first half, led 4-0 at halftime, including 3 goals in a 5-minute span. So they have that quick hitter ability. We'll see if they can bring that to the table here against Monterrey.
Jacobo Reyes, wide right to Nader Hernandez. Monterrey loves to attack through their number 10 and number 9 combo of Reyes and Gonzalez, and also on this right side with Hernandez and Caballero pushing forward.
Certainly against the fire, Monterrey dominated the ball. Average position for most players was in the opposition half. Just the center backs played in their own half. So we'll expect to see Los Rayados with a lot of the ball here this afternoon.
Here's the starting lineups. First for Philly, Christopher Shakes is the goalkeeper, 15-year-old out of Coral Springs, Florida. Back 4 from right to left, Nicolas Sesak, John Wagner, Sean Smolin, and Kevin Escobar. Here comes Monterrey. Nader Hernandez on this right side, into the box, at the end line. A header at the back post, it's palmed away. No goal, as the referee looked towards the assistant referee who had a very good position for it. So very close for Monterrey, but apparently kept out. Great save by Christopher Shakes.
It was a fantastic save, full extension. You're right, Matt. AR was right on the scene, right on the goal line, so he had a clear view of if that ball went across or not. It's great work down the right-hand side for Monterrey, and a really excellent cross to find Gonzalez unmarked at the back stick. Just a fantastic save to keep Philadelphia in this game.
Hernandez did the dirty work, beautiful cross. Gonzalez rising, and that was a fantastic save. Shakes is only 15 years old. He turns 16 at the end of this month. One of the few out-of-state players on this Union team. He's from Coral Springs, Florida. Came through FC Florida.
Really was a fantastic save. Fully stretched, palmed it away with his right hand.
J.D. Wagner all the way back to Shakes. So we gave you the back four. It's a three-set in midfield. Seth Kuhn is the holding midfielder. Michael Pellegrino and Brendan Aronson in front of him. And then three up front. Axel Picasso is on the right. Nick Blacklock, on your left. And then the center forward, Chad Letts.
Yeah, expect to see Kuhn with a lot of the ball. He had quite a few actions in that first game, that thumping over New England, that holding midfielder. So I think everything runs through him for the Union.
Blacklock. And there's Shakes, no problem once again. Shakes has also gained time with the U18s, which is impressive considering he's only 15. Union trying to build out of the back. Had a chance to speak with Chris Brewer, the U16 head coach, before the game. He said both teams will try to play today. This should be a game that's pleasing on the eye despite the wind. But this is the kind of game Philly wants. They want to play against a team that can possess the ball, that can make them work off the ball.
Certainly it's international caliber competition. Don't get to see a whole lot of these type of teams in the United States. Such a great opportunity for MLS academies here at this competition. You want to test yourself against the best, and this is an opportunity for Philadelphia as well. We can already see early in the game, Monterrey with that high press, most of their players in Philadelphia's half, and against this wind, Philadelphia is struggling to get out.
Jacobo Reyes. Great skill on the ball. Nader Hernandez, another good cross. Partially cleared. Good view for the referee. He waves off the appeals for a penalty from Jacobo Reyes.
And that was that relentless pressure leading to another opportunity. Good work again down that right-hand side. We've seen Hernandez deliver quite a few good-looking crosses. Philadelphia with the half clearance and a little coming together in the box. Reyes wanted a penalty, nothing given.
There's Letts battling against the two center backs. And the offside flag came up. Came from an offside position. Now we'll give you the Monterrey lineup. It's a 4-2-3-1. Carlos Gil's the goalkeeper. The back four from right to left. Ruben Caballero, Alex Grijalva, Luis Sanchez, and Alberto Nieto. The two holding midfielders, Adrian Taran and Jaziel Martinez. Nader Hernandez, Diego Gonzalez, Alexis Ramirez, the three set in midfield, and then up front, Jacobo Reyes. Union getting some license on this right side. That's Axel Picasso. Picasso actually has some Mexican ties, Carter. He grew up in Mexico City and then moved to Austin. Grew up, was raised in Round Rock, but he has some ties to Mexico, so very familiar with Monterrey and their importance in Liga MX.
A good game on Friday as well. Got a goal, the fourth goal for the Union against New England.
Union plays it short. Low cross, headed away. Here comes Monterrey. Union does very well getting back in numbers.
They really did. You could hear Shakes back there screaming, drop, drop, because it looked for a second as though Monterrey would be able to counter quickly. We saw Chivas do that to Orlando on Friday to get the game-winning goal, a counterattack off a corner. This time, Philadelphia able to snuff it out, get numbers behind the ball. Really nicely done defensively.
Good work from Chad Letts, the forward, tracking back to help out defensively. Letts out of King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, in the Marion part of PA. He has 4 goals in 8 games.
He had 2 on Friday as well. Scored the opener, and really excited to see this kid play here this afternoon. All action forward. You saw him dropping in on the left-hand side just now.
Here's Hernandez. He's been on the ball a lot here in the first 10 minutes. Caballero. And a good start to this game for Christopher Shakes. He's been sure-handed with everything sent his way.
Yeah, despite the wind as well. You could see it there. That cross floated up for the right back Caballero. Shakes able to read the wind misdirection in midair and catch it securely with both hands.
Chris Brewer, the U16 head coach, experience with the US U18 and U14 boys national teams as an assistant, as Caballero is in good position to prevent Nick Blacklock from winning on this left side. And then the academy director for Philly is Tommy Wilson. He was previously the academy technical director with Rangers and time with the Scottish national team as well. Hernandez. He draws a foul. He's asking for a yellow card. And that's shown. Sean Smolin.
Yeah, Hernandez, you mentioned it. He's been heavily involved in the early stages of this one. Again, beating a double team there along this near-hand side. Smolin was beaten. He knew that Hernandez was going to get behind him into the area. Not too much contact there, but Hernandez feels it, goes down, and earns the yellow card in. This is a really nice set-piece opportunity for Monterrey.
Just shows what influence Hernandez has had. That's a center back coming all the way out of the penalty area this early in the game. Chance in the middle of the area, and it's Adrian Terran who cannot keep it down. So a good chance on the half volley for the 17-year-old defensive midfielder. And he knows he should have done better.
Yeah, he really should have. It was an excellent pick out from that set piece. Such a tough position to defend a set piece right there, even with the 6-yard box. Tough to hold a line, as well as, you know, with this wind, possible that Monterrey could have gone for goal. So Philadelphia worried about that wall, worried about holding their line. They forgot about the guy on the edge of the area. He's wide open, unmarked, and just skied his attempt. Really should have done better to get that one on frame.
Kevin Escobar for Philadelphia. Blacklock, a little bit gimpy after that challenge. Escobar is from Milltown, New Jersey. Previous club, East Brunswick. This Union Academy has been fully functioning for 4 years now, so a lot of these players coming from previous clubs. They want to keep it pretty local with Pennsylvania and New Jersey-based products to be in the fabric of the Philly community, but they will go out and find some real elite prospects to put in the residency.
Well, when you have players like Christian Pulisic coming out of Pennsylvania, perhaps it's not the worst idea to try and look within. Certainly a hotbed for soccer on the East Coast, and can't blame them for trying to build it up within Pennsylvania. Plenty of talent, certainly in the Philadelphia area as well.
Some players missing. They could have been eligible for this game for Philly. Daniel Bloyu 8 goals this year. He has an injured hamstring. For Sean McGann with the U.S. U17 national team. Isa Rayon is with the Bethlehem Steel. And then another player, Romero, is with El Salvador. Here comes Monterrey, great touch. Neder Hernandez. But Union again, they get 6 back to deal with it. Hernandez has been such a live wire here in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, he's certainly started brightly, hasn't he? Back to the prospects for the Union that they're missing out on today. Not a terrible problem to have if you're the Philadelphia Union in terms of your organization, but certainly there's quite a few teams here that have seen some 17-year-olds playing up in divisions. That's good for American soccer. They might miss out, but some of the young kids getting some opportunities to play here as well.
Yeah, Tommy Wilson, the Academy director, told us rather than keeping guys in the group, maybe keeping them down, so to speak, let them play up to their new opportunities. It opens the door for younger players to take their spots. And there's 6 players born in 2001 in the starting lineup today for Philadelphia. Great kick for Monterrey. So a decent start for the Union. They haven't really solved Neder Hernandez, however, who's been just dynamic on this near side.
Yeah, and they're struggling to get out against this wind as well. It really is whipping from left to right, but there's another foul. They've been getting stuck in, letting Monterrey know that this is not going to be a walkover here. You know, the 50-50 challenges all over the place.
Another tough ball for Christopher Shakes. Has to be hard to read in this wind, a ball floating in the air. But Shakes, no bobble, a good start for him.
Yeah, and it's a good idea from Monterrey as well. They realize they have the wind. They've floated in a couple of those set pieces, a couple of crosses. Shakes has looked sure-handed so far.
That's Chad Letts. Keeps it alive to the far side. Axel Picasso.
It's a good chance here for Philadelphia to push forward. Most of the joy they've had in attack has come down this right-hand side so far in the early stages of this first half.
Picasso and Shakes are the only 2 out of the area players that are in the residency. From Mexico City to Austin and now Philadelphia. Hernandez tried to keep it in, unable to do so. It's a Union throw-in. Scoreless game nearly halfway through this first half. Again, 35-minute halves here in the Generation Adidas Cup. With Carter Augustine, I'm Matt Peterson. Day 2 of this annual U17 competition, now in its 10th year.
Yeah, brilliant to have it into the 10th year. 13 international clubs here this season as well. This competition just keeps growing and growing. Really wonderful to see. It's a premier U17 tournament in North America for sure, and starting to gain in prestige in terms of worldwide competitions as well.
Yeah, just 3 foreign teams as recently as 2014. That was the first year foreign teams were in this competition. Smolin. He'll concede the corner kick, as Jacobo Reyes was close for Monterrey.
Good run in behind there from Reyes. Tracked nicely from Smolin, and the ball bouncing around with this wind as well. Good decision just to not take any chances in that one-on-one situation. Just clear it out, defend this set piece, get numbers back.
Smolin from Wayne, Pennsylvania, which is the home of the training facility YSC Sports, where the Union facility is set up. Another good chance for Monterrey. That's overhit, but well struck. And it's that man again, Neder Hernandez. I mean, he's popping up everywhere.
Yeah, it certainly seems like he has license to roam. That time from the corner kick, he scooted over to the left-hand side, picks up the ball, and a little dip of the shoulder around a defender. He's been really bright, certainly the standout player so far in this match.
something we've seen from these international teams, and we had a chance to speak with Brian Claben of the LA Galaxy Academy U16 head coach. Carter will have to call the broadcast this afternoon at 6:15 when they take on Flamengo, but he said one of the big differences with the international teams and the MLS teams at this point is the intensity, especially at the start of a game, and the physicality and just how they're ready to go. And we saw that with River Plate against Atlanta on Friday. We've seen it here. Nader Hernandez is not waiting for this game to come to him. It's right off the bat, 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, certainly. This Monterrey team as well, they pressed so well against Chicago. They started the game with the wind at their backs. A little different look for these MLS academies as well. The Mexican style of play, Mexican players.
Here comes Shakes to clean it up. That was an interesting comment as well from Tommy Wilson, the Philly Academy director. He says, we're better with the ball than without. We're more comfortable with the ball. We have some flair and excitement. Goals can come from many different areas, but he said today will be a tough challenge. Monterrey will have the ball. And these Mexican teams do present a different challenge for a team like Philadelphia, which is used to having it most of the time.
Yeah, they haven't seen a whole lot of the ball in this first half, certainly. Monterrey did so well in possession against Chicago. They've started this game in that same vein. With the wind at their backs as well, it's a little easier to keep possession. So if Philadelphia can weather the storm, no pun intended, in this first half, might be able to get a little more of the ball in the second half with the wind in their sails.
Off the corner to the back post, headed back to the middle, and just enough on the block, and then the offside flag comes up. So that was a good chance. Falling to the defensive midfielder, Alex Grijalva.
Yeah, well-timed block from Sean Smolin as well. As initially that corner kick looked to go far post and the nod back, but Smolin just able to step in front of the shot.
Nader Hernandez. And good work that time. That was Seth Kuhn just blasting off Hernandez's shins for a goal kick. Kuhn from Wyomissing, Pennsylvania. He's called a gifted central midfielder by Tommy Wilson, previously with the PA Classics.
And certainly that's a prime example right there of playing with and without the ball. We talked about it. Kuhn had so much of the ball in that game against New England, but here, without the ball, he did well to track and cover for his left back Escobar after the Monterrey press won the ball high up the pitch. Some good defensive midfield work there from Kuhn.
Kuhn turned 17 on Tuesday, and the referee waves off the call for a foul against Jacobo Reyes. But Rayado's not done yet, and it's just past the far post. Shakes did his best to try to cut the angle, but Monterrey threatening once again.
And you see Kuhn and Pellegrino conversing in midfield there as sloppy giveaway in midfield leads to really golden opportunity for Monterrey. 3-on-2. Good effort, just wide of goal, but that press from Monterrey the past few minutes is really causing Philadelphia some problems.
Yeah, I'm pressed mentally. Reyes thought he was fouled, and oftentimes your teammates around you sort of get your back and start arguing with the ref, but Monterrey stayed with the play. They won the ball and nearly scored moments after the appeal for the foul was denied.
Yeah, and that foul appeal was on Sean Smolin as well. He came sliding in. He's on a yellow card. He'll have to be careful the rest of this game.
That's a good point, Carter. There's 5 substitutions allowed. And Chris Bird told me before the game he might use all of them around the 15th with 15 minutes left as Shake shows off his athleticism coming off his line to punch away against Nader Hernandez. Christopher Shakes. Excellent first half. A good 1-2 for the Union, but Carlos Gil has not been tested much in the first 25 minutes, comes off his line well.
That was the best attack from the Union that we've seen in this first half. Really quick counterattack, great hold-up play from Chad Letts. Sucked in 2 defenders and then split them with a nice pass to set the Philly Union attack off down the right-hand side. Just a little overcooked on that final ball, but that's better from Philadelphia as they withstood the pressure from one end and went straight up the other in lightning speed on the counter.
Yeah, Let's just look good. He's had limited touches in this game, but the moments he's been on the ball, he looks very composed, has a plan. As we see right there, another good layoff. Referee lets them play. That was Brendan Aronson who went down. Here comes Monterrey. A very good back and forth game. Good flow to this one. As Reyes slows things down. Now it's Tadan on the ball. Out wide Hernandez once again. Two Union defenders. Jaziel Martinez. He wins it back. He had a goal against Chicago in the 3-1 win on Friday.
Good challenge there after he tried to slip a ball through and then able to win the ball back for his team almost immediately. Been strong in midfield so far, Martinez.
Nearly 25 minutes gone. Scoreless and a good first half from Frisco, and another save for Christopher Shakes.
Pretty straightforward there. Looked like Ramirez cutting in from his left-hand side, just trying to get a shot away, but right down the throat. Easy save for Shakes.
Michael Pellegrino pushing forward, called a box-to-box midfielder. A Steven Gerrard type. Previously with South Jersey Barons out of Winona, New Jersey.
We'll need all that industry today as try and keep up with this Monterrey high press and their ability to keep the ball.
Here comes Monterrey. Referee in good position. That's Jacobo Reyes. He knew he was fouled. He sort of slowed down. And an excellent free kick opportunity coming about 25 yards from goal.
Yeah, Seth Kuhn just knew he was struggling to keep up with the run from Reyes there. So he's tugging back on his jersey, and Reyes may have gotten into the area. So not the worst foul, but you're right. This is prime territory here, just about dead center. Maybe a little center left, which is good for a right footer. And then factor in this wind as well. Christopher Shakes is going to have a tough time dealing with this free kick.
Martinez leaves it. He goes to stand right in front of Shakes in an offside position. Interesting. He's right on the goalkeeper. That's Jaziel Martinez. And now he leaves. And the shot is right into the wall.
Wall did his job there, and you could hear that one. That one would hurt whoever wore that one right on the chest. It was struck well, but it's not near high enough to get over the wall.
Jacobo Reyes took the free kick. Now he's back on the ball. Step overs. He thought he was fouled for a penalty, and now he's pushing the center back after the play. That's Sean Smolin. But the referee waved him up as soon as he went down. He thought he was fouled for a penalty, and now Reyes and Smolin continue to jar back and forth.
And now you see the referee giving a talking to. You must have seen that actors in that play. It's a good chance, Matt, to bring up that VAR is being used in this tournament. Every play is being checked back in the booth by the video assistant referee, and then he'll advise the referee if a play should be reviewed. So 2 penalty claims from Monterrey so far in this first half, but neither have gone to the referee for advisement.
Yeah, and of course that ball that probably came close to the goal line off the header in the first 5 or 10 minutes that was well saved by Christopher Shakes, that was certainly reviewed. But it's great. It doesn't interrupt the flow of the game unless it's necessitated It's a great addition to the sport, in my opinion. Union working down this left side. That's Brendan Aronson. 3 goals this season. He's also spent time with the under-18s. Previously played with New Jersey Real and Medford Soccer Club.
It's a good opportunity again for Philly to just push forward, try and keep the ball in their attacking half. As under 10 minutes to play here in this first half.
Escobar throws it in. Monterrey wins it back. And it's a Union throw in at midfield. Approaching halftime. Not 5 minutes left. 35-minute halves here in the GA Cup. Union had a very competitive qualifying in the Eastern Division. They went 2-2-2. They lost to Atlanta 4-1. They lost to NYCFC and New York Red Bulls on penalties. They beat New England Revolution 4-0. They also beat Orlando 4-1, and they lost to DC United 3-2. So in just about every game and some convincing wins. Big challenge, this ties there. Smolin against Reyes.
Yeah, tough qualifying there in that Eastern region as well. Philadelphia, some good teams. Atlanta certainly showed well against River Plate here on Friday.
Shakes try to play it short. It goes out for a Monterrey throw, and Reyes goes down. Monterrey players not getting the calls at the moment. Excellent settle by Nader Hernandez. And a goal kick. Carter, you were right about Hernandez. Free license. He starts on this right side, but can go basically anywhere he wants in the front line.
It's such a handful for defenders as well, because we've seen him cut past defenders, get to the byline on his right foot. We've also seen him just now cut inside on his left. So you can't blame the coaches for allowing him to just have that free roaming capability. Such a potent attacker. It's really good in this first half.
Christopher Shakes off the goal kick right into the wind.
Yeah, you saw it just stop in midair there.
Adrian Terran won the header, and subsequently a free kick for Monterrey. And you see Ruben Caballero talking with the referee.
Hernandez is as well. He's getting a little frustrated. He drew a foul again, and he's just signaling to the referee there. It's 4 or 5 fouls that he's drawn. This time, Escobar just a little overeager in his challenge right into the back of Hernandez.
Jaziel Martinez will take this. Left-footed delivery, it's a good one. A good claim once again by Christopher Shakes.
Again, just nicely hit, allow the wind to take it, but tough for the attackers to read the flight of the ball as well.
Here comes the Union. Good touch from Axel Picasso. And he wins a throw-in. It
was an excellent challenge. The right back Escobar Caballero all the way over on the left-hand side, following that counter-attack, just sliding over, allowing Monterrey to get bodies back behind the ball.
Riotos clears. Look at the wind take that all the way back to Shakes. He's got to be careful. It's just skipping. Got to be very careful with the back pass to your goalkeeper today.
Yeah, well, we saw him trying to set up a goal kick, and the ball wouldn't stay in place. So even when the ball is on the deck, the wind is affecting the flight. It's a huge factor in this game.
Here comes Picasso. In the end, well defended by Monterrey.
Yeah, and Picasso just didn't have to pull down the Monterrey defender after looked like Sanchez just came and slid over, got in the way there. Picasso just the slightest of touches and allows Monterrey to draw a foul. But you can see there another good counterattack down that right-hand side. You can see the quick hitting ability of this Philadelphia Union team. Of course, we mentioned they scored 3 goals in 5 minutes to really bury New England in that first match.
Here's a chance. Shakes off his line. He does well. It was a little bit indecisive from Kevin Escobar. He let the ball bounce, went up for the header, and Hernandez was first one to it. So a seemingly innocent ball in midfield turned into a good chance for Monterrey. Frustration from the Monterrey bench after that poor cross, and a goal kick once again for Philly.
Monterrey had 18 crosses in that 3-1 win over Chicago. I'd like to get it to their wide players and whip it in. Of course, Gonzalez is a tall lad up front. Just unable to deliver that from the left-hand side last time around.
So the second time this half we've seen Shakes overhit a goal kick out wide left. But to be fair, Escobar wasn't really ready for it. He was still backpedaling when it came. So tough to put all the blame on the goalkeeper. Half clearance, chance, and it's off the outside of the post and wide. That was Nader Hernandez. After I believe it was J.D. Wagner with a poor clearance right to the top of the box. And Monterrey has had a few golden chances go begging here in the first half.
They certainly have. And if anyone deserved a goal for Monterrey in this first half, it was Hernandez. And there, what good technique he had. As he saw the ball drop to him, you could see him just keep his body square over the ball, hit it with his laces. From our angle, looked like it was going to creep inside that far post, but unluckily for Hernandez, just bangs off of it and out of play.
Here comes Hernandez once again. And Shakes out there to get it. I wonder if they're almost being too cute, right? They like to play short, they like to play on the ground. You wonder if the defenders are trying to find a teammate with the clearance rather than just bombing it out and making the sure clearance. Because we've seen a few poor clearances from that back line today.
Certainly, but I think this wind as well, Matt, it makes it tough to clear your lines.
Axel Picasso, good work. Aronson for the Union, 1 against 2. Aronson, and a smashing clearance. That was Luis Sanchez. Now the wind, it's hard to downplay its effect on this game in this first half.
Certainly Monterrey have benefited from the wind, but so far still 0-0.
Here come Rayados, maybe their last attack of this first half. Good body work from Hernandez to shield off his marker. Hernandez trying to get onto it, but Shakes is right there, and that's the end of the first half and the first 35 minutes. So chances for Monterrey, but the Union can go into halftime and regroup. Carter Augustine, your thoughts on the first half?
I agree, Matt. I think Monterrey clearly the team on top in that first half. They used the wind to their advantage, got some good crosses in the first 10 minutes, led to some chances, a couple of good saves from Christopher Shakes, but overall I think Philadelphia will be really glad to see that 0-0 scoreline going into the halftime break, as they know really tough to play against this wind, 35-mile-an-hour gusts. And so the ability to take this thing scoreless into the halftime break, I think they'll be confident that they'll have more of the ball in this second half.
All right, so the best chances in that half for Hernandez and Adrian Terran. We'll have about a 10-minute halftime. We'll be back for the start of the second half, scoreless in Frisco. Welcome back to Frisco, Texas with Carter Augustine. I'm Matt Peterson. Scoreless after 35 minutes at the Generation Adidas Cup, Day 2. Both teams looking to start 2-0 in Group B of the Premier Division. Monterrey with the better of chances in the first half, but no goals to show for it. One change we saw at the end of this first half, Iverson Brisma coming on. A 16-year-old born in Haiti. Spent part of his childhood in East Windsor, New Jersey. Yet to see who the change was made for. So we'll sort that out shortly. Do not see any changes yet for Monterrey either. Here we go, second half. The winner of this game will be atop Group B in the Premier Division. And it looks like Brisma has replaced Nick Blacklock.
Now you see right away in this second half, Philadelphia from the kick, just dumping it in the corner, using that wind right off the bat. I think we'll see a lot more of that in this second half. And Philly was able to keep this thing 0-0 despite some really good opportunities and good play from Monterrey in the first half, but a little bit of a flip of the script here, as now Monterrey will have to work against the wind. Philly will have the wind at their backs.
Only the group winner advances for contention for the title here in the Premier Division. So winning this game is vitally important for both. They could go into the next game needing only a tie to advance.
Certainly winning this game would be huge for either of these sides.
Jacobo Reyes. Alexis Ramirez with the cross. And first touches in defense off the bench for Iverson Brisma.
I've been impressed with the pragmatism of some of these Monterrey players in their crosses. There, I think Nieto saw that he could overhit his cross and allow the wind to kind of play it back in, almost like a draw. Just overhit it to the back post, and turned out to be a good cross in the end. Or maybe I'm giving him too much credit, Matt. I don't know.
I think the service has been very good. I think all you want as a coach or a fan of your team is for the guy crossing the ball to give his team a chance, to not overhit it so much that there's nobody there, not clear the first man. If you put it in the box, give an opportunity for one of your teammates to run onto it, that's a satisfactory delivery. Oh, an arm up right in front of the referee. As we see Pellegrino go down, an argument. And Philly contending it was a high elbow.
Yeah, see Martinez kind of backing away from the fray there, as it was a straight elbow directly in front of the referee as well. Tough one for Pellegrino to take, but I think Martinez, they're just kind of trying to run and hide a little bit from the referee's pocketbook. Looks like a bloody nose perhaps as well.
Referee today is Jorge Ramirez. AR1 behind the benches is Sean Hornsby. Tom Felice is on this near side, and Tim Ford is the fourth official.
The video assistant referee, the quote-unquote fifth member of the crew, if you will, back in the review booth. He'll be looking at this one. As you can see, actually, that Ref Ramirez there, look, you can see him signaling to his ear that he's getting some word from the VAR. And there you go. We will have a VAR review implemented here. see the little box signal made by the referee with his hands indicates that he's been advised by his video assistant referee that he should take another view at that play that just happened a moment ago.
Yeah, the man in question is a halftime substitute for Monterrey, Jorge Solis, number 382. He came on at halftime. He's a 15-year-old making his GA Cup debut. Did not play against Chicago, so within just a few minutes of coming on, a big call in question. Jorge Ramirez took a quick look. And a red card is shown. But it looks like it was shown to a different player, Martinez.
Yeah, as I mentioned, he was the one that had that stray elbow. He kind of tried to backpedal away from the fray really quickly. I think he knew that he had left that elbow hanging, and then here's a big incident from the VAR, as initially the referee didn't give a card, but his assistant in his ear said, hey, you should take another look at this play. And Matt, the mantra there is clear and obvious error had to have been detected. So the referee goes over to the replay booth, took a look at the replay himself, and he deemed that he had made a clear and obvious error in not awarding a card initially. And so coming back from the video here, that's a huge play in this game.
Yeah, great analysis, Carter. I thought it was Solis. I was wrong. It was Janziel Martinez, a big player for Monterrey. He scored against Chicago on Friday, played all 70 minutes, and he is sent off moments into the second half. So that changes everything here in the second half. Philadelphia up a man after a red card to Janziel Martinez, and it was a very quick look at the monitor.
Yeah, they must have had that video queued up, and Martinez was pretty good in that first half. He's a physical player in the midfield. Now he'll have to miss the next match as well. We'll play New England next, Monterrey, so that's a big impact on the group as well. But certainly Philadelphia will be looking to push forward and grab all 3 points against 10 men against Monterrey.
Looking at it live, we had a pretty good view of it down here on the field. It looked sort of borderline yellow-red. I think it could have gone either way, kind of judging the intent of it, which is the hardest part. And I think the classic defense for the Monterrey players was that, and now off the ball, we see something right in front of us as Nick Sesak, the captain, mixing it up with Jacobo Reyes, but that was something very similar to what we just saw. And we'll watch the off-the-ball stuff as the arms are starting to fly.
You know, we saw a few tackles fly in that first half, but it seems to be getting even feistier here in the second. Both teams know that 3 points here, and basically you control your own destiny in the last game.
Yeah, and I think what Monterrey was saying was he was just shielding himself from the ball, but you don't have to get your arms up that high. I think it's, you do that at your own peril, and if your elbow hits someone's face, you're in contention to get a red card, and that's exactly what happened for Janziel Martinez.
Yeah, certainly, oftentimes it's a natural body position, just launch your arms out as you try and launch yourself into the air, but obviously the referee, in going over and watching a replay of the incident, deemed to have said that it wasn't a natural act. And we're getting some official wording here from the video assistant referee, who's saying review and identified a violent contact offense by Monterrey number 348, who has been showed a red card. So a violent conduct offense is what the referee went over and saw in that replay.
By 348, I think he meant 340, Janziel Martinez.
Certainly, yeah.
The 0 is near the 8. Good back heel. Here comes Jacobo Reyes. And a good block. That was against Jorge Solis, who had a good shooting chance on that right side.
Yeah, the sub coming in there, he did well. Monterrey down to 10 men, but not sitting back. Good offensive slow there into that one as Solis was getting forward.
Yeah, the physicality in this game should be very interesting. We just saw behind the play near the center circle some discussion between two players. That was Luis Sanchez heading it back across the face of goal. A goal kick now for Christopher Shakes and Philadelphia.
I think Sanchez had a lot more time in the box than he realized there. He's trying to nod it back into the mixer, but it was a great delivery from the corner, and he could have perhaps gotten something on frame.
Another good layoff from Chad Letts. Here come the Union, up a man for the near entirety of the second half. Letts dummies it, an opportunity on goal, and it's 1-0 Union. Brendan Aronson. And the Union have the vital opening goal here early in the second half.
And there it is, the lightning strike ability of this Philadelphia Union team. Just about a minute ago, they were defending a corner, and all of a sudden, all the way up the pitch, you mentioned it, in midfield, a nice little move to switch the point of attack from left to right, and then what a nice little leave, and maybe even got a little flick of the ball, Chad Letts there, to just allow Aronson to run in behind the defense. You like that midfield run from Aronson to get beyond his forward, and then Letts saw the run, directed it right into his path. It's a brilliant bit of play from the forward and a cool finish in the end as well. No chance for the goalkeeper. Philadelphia taking advantage of this 10-man Monterrey side.
And now we see the frustrations piling up. That was Adrian Taran just pushing Letts on the ground after they both went down. But that was picture perfect center forward play, because he started it near the center circle with the layoff, then he advanced forward, the ball came to his feet, and as you said, maybe a dummy, maybe a slight flick, but you cannot do more as a facilitator than what Chad Letts just did. And what a cool finish from Brendan Aronson. 3 goals in 15 games coming in. Time with the U18s as well, as we see another foul. And a yellow card shown. It's the left back, Kevin Escobar.
Yeah, this game I think is going to get chippier and chippier here. So much at stake. And many of the MLS Academy personnel we've talked to have talked about how intense these international competitions will be and how they're looking forward to the challenge. Certainly Philadelphia will find themselves in the thick of a heated physical battle here in this second half.
1-0 Union. Brendan Aronson, the only goal just a few minutes ago. Here comes Rayados. Alberto Nieto. And a header towards goal, and it's cleared away. That was Shakes coming off his line. He couldn't get to it, but his defenders helped him out. A goal-bound header cleared away.
Yeah, cleared off the line there, but again, that's Nieto really using the wind to his advantage. That was a nice cross. Certainly got hung up in the air, really tested Shakes. Couldn't get a good trajectory of the ball, and in the end, the defender had to come back and clear it off the line.
Nicolas Sesak with the throw, and he's the captain, previously with FC Delco and Ukrainian Nationals. Yeah. Delco always been a big club in the Philadelphia area.
Certainly have, and he had a really good game in that first 5-0 thrumping of New England. Touched the ball more than any other player in that game for Philadelphia.
He's been training with the Bethlehem Steel, and Academy Director Tommy Wilson told us before the game he reminds him of Keegan Rosenberry, who came out of Georgetown and a Rookie of the Year candidate last year.
High praise indeed there.
Some time with the U.S. men's national team. He's walking in front of us right now. Not as big as Rosenberry, but probably similar demeanor and leadership qualities. And he's using the advantage for a long throw in here. A break in the field boards on this near side, so some savvy as well.
Yeah, heads up play, just couldn't get the throw in the air enough to use that wind as well. players complaining there. They thought Picasso was in an offside position, would have rather have had the free kick than the throw, but referee said nothing there.
Now we'll see another change for Monterrey. And exiting the game right in front of us is Nieto. So the left back subbed out.
You see the sub coming in, signaling that looks like they're going to a back three here perhaps. It's like an attack-minded sub for the left back, so Monterrey knows with 10 men they got to get back in this game trailing by a goal to nil.
Another change that was made moments ago, Eduardo Banda, 16-year-old, came on. He was also a sub against Chicago. He wears number 384 for Rayados. And there's a goal. Rayados ties it up. And it's 1-1 here in the second half. Neder Hernandez, after so many chances in the first half, he pulls Monterrey level.
What a crucial goal that could be for Monterrey in this tournament. Down to 10 men, and yeah, what a bright half Hernandez had in that first half. And certainly we thought if someone was going to score for this Monterrey team, it would be him. And there, nice little 1-2 exchange on the edge of the area and just hammers it home near post. Excellent finish from Hernandez, and a bit of end product to go with the really good on-the-ball work there. So Monterrey just fighting back, and all of a sudden back in this game 1-1.
A well-deserved goal for Neder Hernandez, the best player on the field in the first half, somewhat quiet early in the second half. Had an assist against Chicago on Friday, the equalizer here. He had that late chance in the first, the low strike off the outside of the post from about 15 yards away, but did not make a mistake there. And Christopher Shakes, who has been so good all afternoon, could do nothing about it. And as we see, the left back Kevin Escobar walking gingerly towards his bench with help from the athletic trainer for Philadelphia.
Yeah, perhaps took a knock in the build-up to that goal. Unable to prevent it coming down that left-hand side of defense. Big cheer from the crowd as well. Some good Monterrey support here in Dallas. Good crowd just to our left.
Yeah, they're very prominent here in Texas. Down in Houston, many Houstonians drive back to Monterrey to support Rayados on the weekend, and Tigres. Monterrey, one of the northernmost cities in Mexico and just south of the Texas border. Here comes the Union looking to regain the lead. It's Picasso bombing forward, but Monterrey had him well sealed off.
Good initially, though. The deft little first touch, flick it up onto his head, and then nods it into his path.
So now we see the new player coming on for Philadelphia, replacing the injured Kevin Escobar. Hard challenge there, Solis against Michael Pellegrino.
Looks like Julian Anderson was the man to check in for the injured Escobar. And looks like he'll slot into midfield, and for the time being, Seth Kuhn will slide back into that left back position for the Union.
Yeah, and Anderson's another one that Academy Director Tommy Wilson's very excited about. He has experience with the U.S. U15 youth national team, a bright prospect, previously out of PDA, a club in Pennsylvania. Anderson's from Wayne, Pennsylvania. Another 2002 on this Philadelphia team. He turned 15 in January. So Julian Anderson, number 19 for the Union, comes on. Off the throw, and Monterrey pushing forward on this left side. Good composure on the ball. And then over hits. That was Pellegrino.
They did well to turn away from pressure there, but you got to be careful here with this wind. Balls over the top, we're going to have to be just about perfect to stay in the path of the intended attacking player. Matt, the wind is really whipping right now. Certainly the heaviest it has all game.
Good work again. Chad Letts draws a foul. Again, Philly hasn't had the ball too much in the attacking third, but when it's got near Chad Letts, good things have happened.
He certainly has been a handful. Like you said, in that first goal, he did so well. I'd like to see the striker come and start the attack in midfield, and then nice little play in the box to create the goal, and there he just sucked Grijalva in, really tempting him into a foul.
Service from Seth Kuhn, not his best, headed clear. But Kuhn does well, racing back to win the ball back and prevent the counterattack.
Yeah, you can see him put his head down there after that delivery. Philadelphia had a chance to pile some numbers in the box, and of course with the man advantage as well, you can perhaps be a little riskier in terms of your attempts to put people in the box for those set pieces, but just too flat of a delivery. And with the wind as well, we saw Monterrey cause a lot of problems in that first half on set pieces. Just float the ball up, let the wind do some damage, but in that particular occasion, Seth Kuhn unable to beat the first man. An offside here against Philadelphia, so Monterrey can restart.
Reyes. Jacobo Reyes. And Philadelphia eventually clears. Brisma trying to get on the end of it.
Monterrey doing well right now, Matt, to keep possession despite being up against the wind and up against an extra man. Keeping the ball on the deck, but they haven't really challenged Christopher Shakes outside of that goal a few minutes ago.
Here comes Rayados, top of the box. Jose Eduardo Banda with an opportunity. And then as the Union get forward, it's Letts drawing a foul.
Getting really physical here between these two sides. Monterrey wanted to foul up the pitch and didn't give it, so comes back to the other side, but this is a missed opportunity for Monterrey. They actually had a man over on this near-hand side in that attack in the box and just couldn't get their heads up in time to spot his run. Somehow, Philadelphia being caught out at the back despite being up a man here.
Here comes Rayados, good hard tackle. Sean Smolin coming out of his center back position to concede the throw-in. Big play.
It was a big play, and he's on a yellow card as well, so he had to time that tackle to perfection, and that's exactly what he did.
Ball floated in the box, difficult for Philly. And good positioning. J.D. Wagner, the 16-year-old, blocks the shot and clears. Axel Picasso. It's been tricky on this right side. Here he is, in behind. But it did not stay in for a Mexico City native.
And that's just a tad unlucky. The wind carrying the pass from Anderson out of play because Picasso was away. He had beaten his marker there with a nice little step over and was looking for the 1-2. Looked to initially be a nicely shaped ball back behind the left back, but the wind just dragging it out of play.
Good work from Anderson. Comfortable on the ball in a tight space in midfield. Kuhn over the top. Headed clear by Luis Sanchez. Good numbers forward for Philadelphia. Picasso lays it back. Sesak to the back post. And it's a corner kick for Philadelphia.
What a move from Picasso here on this near side to create space to lay it off for the cross there. And he's actually left Solis in a pile there. Solis struggling. Looked like he might have broken his ankles there. See if Solis can continue on there, but got his knees all up in a tangle. What an excellent one-on-one move here from Picasso, who's starting to really come into this game in this second half.
Philadelphia about to make a change, but they might wait till after this corner. There's some confusion on the field. There's no substitute indicator, so you don't know which player it is. The players don't either, and that's Chad Letts exiting. So excellent game from Letts, helped create the opening goal, and he departs here at the closing stages.
Not the most service into him all game, but he did well whenever he got the ball directed in his position.
Good service in the box, brave headed clearance, and it fell to the new substitute who just came off the bench, and that's Carter Emack. So Emack out of Birmingham, Alabama, 17 years of age, by way of Birmingham United. And that's what you want off the bench, a good chance from 15 yards out.
First act of the game, just able to hit a half volley, popping out to you on the edge of the area from a corner kick.
Luis Sanchez had actually it was Alex Grijalva, strong header off the corner with two Union players challenging him. Good size from the Monterrey center back, Alex Grijalva. It's been a very good game, Carter.
Certainly have. That red card is a big factor, I think, in this second half. Monterrey have done well, actually, to keep a lot of the ball despite being down a man, but Philadelphia, I think, really growing into the game in these last 10 minutes.
Here comes the Union. Overlapping is Sesak. Monterrey recovers well.
Yeah, just a slack pass there from the substitute, Emack. Should have done better to find his captain on the overlap.
Far side, here's Seth Kuhn. Out wide. Good service, headed away.
Strong defensive header. Interesting note here, Matt, it looks like Julian Anderson has gone to take that number 9 position for the departed Chad Letts. Here he is holding up the ball.
And a goal kick given to Monterrey. Aronson certainly disagreed.
Perhaps I spoke too soon. Looks like actually Picasso is going to slot in to the number 9 position. And Aronson will go play right wing.
Aronson opened the scoring early in the second half, his second goal of the tournament after scoring on Friday against New England. Here comes Rayados. Jacobo Reyes. Out wide left, Jorge Solis, a 15-year-old. Service, difficult ball. And Christopher Shakes, no problem.
Good advantage in midfield there from the referee as well. Allowed Monterrey to counter despite a foul.
Excellent throw out from Shakes. It looks like Solis might be hurt on the near side, but Philly will play on.
I think he's still feeling the effects of his knee kind of went when he was trying to defend. It's too bad for Solis, who came in as a sub, and yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to carry on in this game.
Nicholas Sesak whistled for a foul. Free kick Monterrey. Solis, in his first action in this tournament, came on as a halftime substitute. We'll see who replaces him.
Yeah, you feel for the kid coming on as a sub, and just a knock to the knee. Hopefully he can recover in time for the next game.
And a free kick to Philadelphia. That's Vladimir Suarez, another 15-year-old, his second substitute appearance. Played 22 minutes off the bench against Chicago. Big switching ball, too far for Brendan Aronson.
Good idea from Kuhn, just didn't get the accuracy down. Ticking away here in the final minutes of this second half. I think Monterrey will really love the fact that they got that equalizer, of course, but looking ahead to the next fixtures, Monterrey plays New England, who were thrashed by Philadelphia 5-0, and then they lost this morning to Chicago 2-0. So 7 goals conceded, 0 goals scored. Monterrey, I think, will look to that game and see if they can get their goal differential up if this game remains as a tie. And meanwhile, Philadelphia will be buoyed by the fact they already have 5 goals in their goal differential.
Excellent point. You want to be sporting to the opposition, but I think in some ways the most respectful thing you can do is beat a team soundly and not let your foot off the pedal. Show them respect by playing all out for the whole 70 minutes. And in a tournament setting, that goal difference can be the difference.
Yeah, when goal differential is a factor and is a tiebreaker, certainly you want to go ahead and pile on whenever you can, because if these two teams draw today, still a lot to play for in the second half, though.
Aronson. Well cleared. That was Luis Sanchez, the center back. Driven towards the back post off the foot of Sesak, but claimed there by the Monterrey goalkeeper Carlos Gil. 16 years of age and his second straight start here in the tournament. Back to Shakes. He clears out towards the center circle.
It's really good defensive work from Kuhn, who started as a defensive midfielder in this game and shifted out to left back in the second half, and there just did a good job of keeping up with the winger, trying to play it around him, but Kuhn just sliding in front and playing it back to his keeper. Nicely done.
Bad giveaway there from Philadelphia. Monterrey can push forward. Jacobo Reyes. But Union win it right back through Aronson. Now another change coming for Chris Brewer and a Philadelphia Union. Looks like Picasso's coming off, so a lively shift for him on the right side.
Yeah, he was a source of a lot of their attacks, most of their attacks in that first half, and made some nice plays in the second half as well.
And replacing him, Aziz Saidi. Chance on the left side for Monterrey, and it's just clipped over the bar. One of the second half substitutes, Vladimir Suarez, the last man to come on. And what a moment that would have been for the 15-year-old. A possible go-ahead goal with Monterrey down a man.
It did so well, Monterrey, down a man, to shift the point of attack from right to left quickly. And again, man, unmarked on this left-hand side of attack. Philadelphia, I think, will need to sort that one out, because on their right-hand side of defense, they've allowed a few Monterrey players to sneak in uncovered.
By my count, Philadelphia has 1 change left. They've used 4 off the bench. And same for Monterrey. Aziz Saidi, 5 goals in 12 games this year. Previously with Continental FC and FC Delco. Luis Sanchez to take it. It's one nice thing about this tournament format. Monterrey down a man and playing with urgency, hustling to take throw-ins, good tempo. It's not like a regular season game where they might be happy with a point.
Certainly, and something that perhaps slipped my mind when I was talking about those group standings is there's a hockey-style shootout at the end of a draw in this group stage. So if this game does end up 1-1, there'll be a point on the line in a PK shootout, and what an important point that will be as well.
There's Sean Smolin. He's covered some good ground, good positioning. He's a big guy. It takes him a little while to get going. But I think he's a smart center back and anticipates things quite a bit.
Yeah, you're right. The acceleration there for the big man is tough to get him started, but once he gets going, he is quick enough. He's been all over the pitch, and he got an early yellow card within the first 5 or 10 minutes of this game, and he's done well to be smart about his defending for the most part, and at the same time be physical.
That was good defensive work from the substitute Carter Emack, using his body well to shield Jacobo Reyes out on the left side. Reyes has been a handful all afternoon for Monterrey. Aronson, the goal scorer for Philadelphia, keeps it alive. A chance for Emack. Right back to the middle, and Monterrey able to clear. I think a good call from the referee there. After the header, the Monterrey player kind of laid into J.D. Wagner. Free kick now for Philadelphia. This is a decent chance with the wind and the size of the Union team. They play it short, near side. Nicholas Sesak pulls it back. Left-footed delivery. Headed back towards the middle. And it's put home! Aronson once again! His second goal of the day, and the Union back in front here late in the second half.
What a fantastic bit of play by the captain, Nick Sesak, here from his right back position. Free kick taken shortly, and you're kind of wondering why they don't float that thing into the box, as you mentioned, with all the big bodies. But Sesak just dekes it on his right foot, cuts it back on his left, and what an unbelievably beautiful floated cross to the back post. Knotted down into the mixer, and it's that man Aronson again on the double. He's doubled their lead, and a late goal here for Philadelphia Union, really taking advantage of that one-man advantage.
Yeah, and Aronson got hurt on the play. Looks like he's limping towards the bench, so I didn't see a change yet for the Union. It might be 10 versus 10. And Aronson, his final action was the go-ahead goal.
Looks like he's limped back onto the field for the time being. I don't think he'll mind too much if he took a knock in that goal scrum, because what a hammered home finish as well.
And Rayados has to be disappointed, as a soft back pass is well contested by the substitute Aziz Saidi. But if Rayados loses this game, it was a very unnecessary foul at midfield. It was a 50-50 header. The Monterrey player kind of stayed in, fouled J.D. Wagner, and that led to the set piece, which led to the goal.
Unnecessary is a perfect way to put it. Just didn't need to make that challenge in that situation. And as a result, yeah, set piece. And how big are set pieces in tournament play as well? If you can defend them, you'll do pretty well. And Philadelphia able to use an attacking set piece to grab this go-ahead goal late on and really gain control of this Group B.
Yeah, it's that fine line, and these players are learning. It's a physical game. We know the international teams maybe have an intensity advantage over most of the MLS clubs as a general rule. And that was a moment where maybe went a little bit too far.
Yeah, as we mentioned, unnecessary there from Monterrey, that foul, and proves to be the difference in this one.
And there's the final whistle. Philadelphia Union, they withstood a barrage in the first half. It was led by Nader Hernandez. They get an early second half goal, Brendan Aronson. And then after it was leveled by Hernandez, Aronson, the late winner, off a well-taken free kick. And as you said, Nicholas Sesak, the 16-year-old captain, provided the delivery.
Just really impressed with this Philadelphia Union side here. Withstood, as you mentioned, a barrage of attacks from Monterrey in that first half and defended really well against the wind. It was a good first half from their keeper as well, Christopher Shakes. And going into the halftime break, You like to see them come out, grab a couple goals, and get a win over a really quality Monterrey side as well. And this means Philadelphia, as you mentioned, all they need is a draw in that final match against Chicago in a couple days' time. So what an excellent result for Philadelphia Union. Played so well in that second half, but of course the difference maker, the red card. Monterrey did valiantly to try and keep the ball and create chances down a man, but that red card was a huge factor in this game.
Yaziel Martinez sent off for the straight red card after video assistant referee was used. And we saw just to our right, Jorge Ramirez, the main referee, went over to take a look at it, came back on the field shortly thereafter, and sent Martinez with a dismissal. How about this? Brendan Aronson, 3 goals all season in 15 games. He has 3 goals in 2 games here in the GA Cup. Make that 4 goals.
4 goals for Aronson in 2 games. Yeah, he's come to play in this one, and you really like both finishes were so calm as well, and he got his foot behind the ball, hammered both of them into the net, giving the keeper no chance on both occasions. He's been excellent in these games, obviously, and getting that late winner. A fantastic game from Aronson.
So Aronson with 4 in the tournament. Nader Hernandez, who was electric all afternoon, he had the equalizing goal. He had now as a goal and assist in the tournament. That will wrap things up here from Frisco. We'll be back at 6:15 p.m. Central Time. LA Galaxy taking on Flamengo. Both teams won its first game. Carter will have the play-by-play duties. We'll talk to you at 6:15. The final score here in Group B, Philadelphia Union goes to 2-0. They play up a man for the entirety of the second half, and behind 2 goals from Brendan Aronson, they beat Monterrey 2-1.